Welcome back, my delinquents. Today we have a case, and it's about a trend sparked off by Talido, the VTuber. We listen, we don't judge, VTuber edition, which is a popular trend that was going around TikTok and has been tweaked for the VTuber. And some people got it, some people used it in another scenario to show their hot takes again, some ruffling more feathers than others, some being downright mean, but I think it was a bit of a good time, but I haven't read them all. Let's go over together and see what is the most controversial. We listen, we don't judge. VTuber edition. We're just gonna go over them together, and we're not gonna obey the rules. We're going to judge them. We'll listen, but we'll also judge. Too many of you are insufferable, attention-seeking, virtue-signaling bozos. They're like any actual in real-life experience. You don't work hard enough, care too much about getting every single person's approval, and spend too much time talking about your problems instead of actually going and fixing them. Shut the fuck up and do better. Oh, that's an aggressive one, boys. Let's check the replies quickly. That's an aggressive one. Shut the fuck up and do better. Say more, say more. Speak it. Can you say that as IMS is doing her best in her to build herself and go into the real world like the rest of it? Obviously, you're misinformed. Too many of you. Not all of you. It's true. We all can't read. It's true. I'd wanted to say more, but I'd get cancelled. So that's the thing. I'm not going to agree with this 100% or anything like that. But what do you guys think of each one of these as we go over? Honestly, on this one, I think they have some ideas of some people in the community, but I don't think it's a majority at all. It's probably not even 50%. But let's be for real, the internet's full of whingers, so makes sense. Including me, I'm whinging right now. VTubers need to start considering others like co-workers instead of only potential friends. This is actually more of a controversial opinion than you think, because I say there's like a middle ground of it. Not everyone can be your friend, and some people will be your friends, but you should be a bit professional, like in between the line, because you have to protect yourself in a professional manner. But this is actually a very controversial opinion, because a lot of people think you should only be in contact with people who are actually your friends. There's people you can have professional relationships without needing to be their close friend. This would breed a more respectful environment and less childish behavior. Maybe. It really depends, honestly. I think it's just one of those jobs or careers, because YouTubing and streaming is kind of similar. Any job that relies on being very social has these problems, in my opinion. What do you guys think on that one? But I think it's always going to have these problems. It just feels more exacerbated because YouTubers are anime watchers, and anime watchers, like myself, are drama queens. If you couldn't tell, I was kidding. Half of you know what you need to do to grow, but aren't actually doing it. How dare he? How dare he call me like that? Because, well, to be fair, I don't know everything you need to grow. 100% not. You can always be doing more. That's just life. But yeah, I feel like some people do know, some people don't. And it's not this like one size fit all. Like, this worked for me, so it'll work for you. Sometimes it is a little Russian roulette mixed with perseverance and research and gusto. But for some people, this is a controversial opinion. I actually really want to see the comments on this. Sorry if you can hear the flapping of my blinds in the backdrop. I'm in a new room for recording. I've seen a lot of people rather sit and complain that they aren't growing than actually use that time and energy to think of ways to improve themselves or stand out. Yeah, I've seen that, and I see a lot of people lash out because of it, because they feel like they can't do it. They just haven't found something they enjoyed enough that's a bit easier to pump out, because the sheer amount of content you have to pump out is a pain. So you have to find something you genuinely enjoy, in my opinion, because what you need to do to grow is a lot, and you have to enjoy it a little bit, or it's going to crush your soul. Indie VTubers will have a near impossible chance of growing if they're just copying what the corporate VTubers do. They already have an audience wanting to watch that. Trying do something different and unique with your content so people have a reason to come to you instead. Actually, I would say true, pretty true. Honestly, I agree with this. Like, what the top creators are doing, you can't just mimic, because there's already so many people doing that, and they have huge audiences. So you have to spend your time trying to find what you enjoy and what works for you. Because you're not automatically going to grow, because they had a lot of things backing them up. They had a lot of variables to how their content got pushed out there. And as a lot of YouTubers will say, gaming, which a lot of top streamers do, is very oversaturated. It can be hard to push out your content to get people to watch. Today, the community stops pandering to the weirdos and generally over people with high sub counts is the day you'll actually respect from outsiders, because there's no way y'all let some of these people walk yet rip smaller indies to shreds for doing way less. Yes, I would say this is a constant complaint with VTubing, is people get up in arms over the stupidest thing, but literally a verified creeper, people will be like, oh, but he has 200,000 subs, and no, he has 800,000 subs, and he'll like get me in trouble, and they don't want to say shit about it. And like, I understand not wanting to get involved, but ripping to pieces everyone for every little thing, and then going where when it's a big creator is so dumb. And I do feel like people should call out bigger creators more than smaller ones and talk about it. Like, I talk about things that are interesting, but if you're actually going to call someone out, it should be someone that actually has a huge audience or impact, not just every guy saying, bro, that anime sucked. Or you kind of look like Picaru. If not, I would be raging in my comments. I do find that funny though. Too many VTubers debut thinking that all they have to do, then burn out. Too many VTubers debut thinking that's all they have to do, then burn out watching numbers not move and graduate in the same year. It's not 2020 anymore. VTubers are just content creators with avatars now. You got to get on the grind. That is the thing. Even in 2020, it wasn't particularly easy unless you had like a full-blown huge debut, because most of us didn't. I've actually never properly had anything other than an outfit debut, because what am I, made of money? What am I, made of money? But it's pretty much the similar thing. You can't just rely on one aspect. You can't rely on one content. You can't rely on just grinding. And I do think it's a bit of a delusion that a lot of people have with streaming or content creating, is that you'll start straight away and you'll be so good at it, making so much money, and you just pop off, not realizing it's a very long-term grind, and you may get some success, but trying to get to the part where you can support yourself and take care of yourself and, you know, commit to streaming is a long road, even if you do really well to begin with. And I think that's something a lot of people have to be more aware of, especially as this gets more oversaturated, not just VTubing, but content creating in general, because even I have a variety of work I do, so I can do the things I like, because that's how you have to do it. You can't hedge all your bets on one thing anymore. Especially as the ad-pocalypses keep hitting everything. You get paid less on ads, and it's more reliant on fans. So you have to have a YouTube, a Twitch, a Patreon, all this stuff. You have to have multiple channels, or you have to sell merch, and you have to do contracts, and you have to do sponsors to get by. And it gets very complicated. I would say it's getting more of a job than ever, especially if you're only mid of the road. And I'm not even there yet, but because you need all those varieties of income to keep going. Unlike a huge creator that may not need them at all. Oh, it's Static Tokyo. Oh my god, is that Static Tokyo? I think it's slightly silly when VTubers post a doc or something personal situation publicly and expect people to not comment on them at all. Honestly, my thing is, if you're going to post something online, people are going to comment. That's fair. I think they should try and be civil about it, but yeah, if you post a huge doco or you make a call out or something, you should expect someone might talk about it. Not saying automatically I would, but some people might talk about it. And yeah, you can try and contact them, but depending what it is, they don't have to take it down, realistically. I have in the past, for people who's asked nicely or explained the situation, it's like, yeah, that's fair, homie, it's not a big deal. But that is the thing, you have to realize when you post things publicly online, and we get the same talk when you post nudes or anything like that, it's there forever, guys. You have to expect that. People's gonna screenshot it, it's not gonna go away. It's not like a repercussion-free space. If anything, things live on the internet more than they do in real life. Like, if you fall on your ass and no one's recording you, no one will remember. But if someone records you, post it online, then you're that person that fell on your ass, aren't you? I personally think there are way too many cat girls, puppy girls, sharks, etc. in this space. Well, she didn't say bunny girls, guys. She didn't say bunny girls. We need more unique animals like platypuses, armadillo, beaver, Komodo dragon. There are so many cool designs you could do. 100% I do agree with that, but there's nothing wrong with whatever design you want, honestly. Do what you want. But I'd have to say one of the more unique designs I saw was a bayou alligator. I think she graduated or is on hiatus. A sad face. But it was interesting, and I'd love to see more of that. I love interesting concepts, but we have to remember, not everyone's concept is the biggest draw to them. It's just one part of them. And see, this is a person who does more confessions. I mute myself on stream to let out a massive fart. I will not comment on this. But yeah, that's the thing. This trend is also used as confessions a little bit. Amara, you have no idea how this trend works, and it shows. Anyway, I stream naked unless I'm making stickers. I will not comment. Sometimes I stream without pants. I don't usually like streaming naked. The camera's looking at me, but I'll wear a baggy shirt or pantsless. Particularly queer trans edition, you gotta stop assuming you can automatically hit on anyone with a shared identity. Wordplay and innuendo is funny, but treating both streamers and audience like a dating app really isn't it. The rest of talk about it, please change. I 100% agree with this. You shouldn't automatically assume that people are comfortable with you hitting on them or being sexually aggressive or whatever. I don't care if it's your character. Don't do it. I've had a few people be very nice and ask if it's fine for them to flirt with me, and I'm like, no. And only one person out of all the people that's asked that has gotten mad about it. And I was like, well, we're not doing the collab. Bye-bye. And that's how it is. You don't match up. Sometimes you don't match up. I personally, unless it's a little bit of a goofy flirt between friends, people I've gotten to know, that's fine. But I don't want to be like flirted with by VTuber guys or VTuber women that I don't know, especially aggressively. It's not my cup of tea. And nothing against anyone else, it's just not for me. It makes me uncomfortable. VTubers saying VTubers love to talk about how they do not want to be over-sexualized, yet a couple of months later get an overly sexualized redesign. No one is ready to talk about that. I feel like I've spent my whole life on the internet and people have always been talking about this to some variety. Like, I swear the sexualization, if you dress too sexy, you should be sexualized kind of stuff. I feel like it shouldn't just be the only thing people talk about you. Like, there was some guy, because she dressed, like, had a sexy model, he could treat her like shit. No. Like, that's the thing. There is nuances to this discussion. Personally, how someone dresses shouldn't automatically determine the way you treat them. But, yeah, when you dress a certain way, sometimes people will be more likely to point out you look sexy. But I think it's always good not to be rude. But I think this conversation's been happening a lot. Some of you guys need to stop treating your own friends as competition and getting gross with them because of it. It's free to support and uplift each other. That's a thing. I think it's good to not be competitive, especially with your fellow VTubers, like too competitive per se. It's fine to have a little bit of a, like, we can do it or we're versing off. But you can't take it too seriously, and you can't treat everyone like competition or drive you mad, in my opinion. And I prefer to treat my friends as they are, just friends, and we talk about stuff, we help each other, we set up stuff for each other, and we're not worried about others going, oh, we're overtaking each other and whatnot. But that comes with trust, and that comes with time. Obviously, you can't trust everyone on the internet. It's less catty for some people, and I've met some lovely people, I've met some annoying people. You just have to, like, shift through to find the kind of tubers for you, you know? And I know some people are naturally competitive. You shouldn't be too competitive in this line of work, especially with your colleagues, because you're going to end up very unhappy. But guys, this is all the VTuber edition of we listen, but we don't judge. But we judged because we don't obey the rules here. We don't believe the police rules, and there's nothing about judging on that. Except we get to judge them. What did you think about this? What do you think? Were they actually hot takes? Were they actually doing the meme? What do you think of these controversial, air quotes, you can't see it because my hands don't work, controversial takes by these VTubers? Seeing some people were getting really annoyed by this trend, funny enough. But I thought it was just a bit of good fun. And they did okay, honestly. It wasn't too outside of the realm, but there was a lot of more opinion than sharing dark secrets. I could have gone with some more dark secrets, honestly. But I'll catch you next time, my delinquents.